The newest episode of Tell Your Tale is kind of a con artist masterpiece. It pretends to be about a lot of things, but is actually about surprisingly little. So basically, Posey's been invited to a sleepover, and everyone else wants to do sleepover activities, but she doesn't. Then they force her to engage in said sleepover activities, and now she likes them. That's it. That's the entire substance of the episode when you remove all the fluff and glamour and noise. And oh boy, is there a lot of fluff and glamour and noise. I strongly dislike that this is yet another episode where characters force themselves onto a victim and demand that she adapt to their worldview. They've pressured Misty into behaving the way they want her to behave, now they're doing it with Posey. And while we're on the topic of Posey, she's written so badly here. For some reason, she's portrayed as socially inept and ridiculously stiff and daft, but these traits are completely invented. In the past, we've seen her attend festivals and fairs and engage passionately with her own hobbies. She knows what fun is, and there's no reason to portray her in such an unflattering, confusing light, especially given this episode's parallels to another before it. Like, remember that episode where Posey got kidnapped and everyone tried desperately to force her to enjoy the snow? No matter how hard they pushed, she was firm in her denial because, having preferences is okay. It's alright to not like some things your friends like. But in this one, they're shouting and singing at her at full blast, and she gets into the groove almost immediately. There's practically no transition to it. She doesn't visibly change her mind or have to look inward or anything like that. It's more akin to mind control than friendship. This episode also attempts to explain the extremely inexplicable presence of rainbow unicorn magic, that rainbow juice which just manifests physical matter out of nothing. But it fails fabulously. Sunny attributes the rainbow magic to the Bright House itself, which is not only never shown to be true previously, but raises more questions than it answers. This is the first time the characters personify the Bright House like this, and it doesn't come with any revelation or critical thought. It feels like they're just sweeping the plot element under the rug, like, yeah, all that impossible stuff you saw before, the Bright House did it, or something. Remember how Izzy explicitly clearly needed the Nova Charm to manifest physical objects from the nothingness? I guess that's completely redundant now. The entire Bright House can do that. Why can the characters just conjure something from nothing? What about consequence? About earning things instead of having them spontaneously produced for you? It's all just loud, lazy nonsense. This episode just doesn't seem to understand who Posey is or how stories work, and that's not surprising because nothing in this series is consistent. None of it connects back to itself in a coherent or cohesive fashion. This could have been a quaint, loving episode about Posey coming out of her shell and learning to adapt to her new friends through mutual compromise and compassion, but instead it's just a bulldozer of banal audiovisual barf. And I just want to speak directly and clearly in saying that the way the main six treat Posey is not alright. Like, if someone doesn't like something, you can't just yell at them and sing at them until they're on board, and the entire show seems to gravely misunderstand what compassion is. Every time someone isn't on board with an activity or idea, they're just press-ganged into enjoying it, and it's deeply wrong. Like, that's a terrible thing to show people, especially young children. They need to show the characters respecting one another, their natural proclivities, and just letting them exist in their own way. There's almost no diversity in the show anymore. I don't know if anyone's noticed. The characters barely have their own unique traits anymore. Everybody's just here to have sugary, bouncy, stupid fun. And if you're not on board with this sugary, bouncy, stupid fun, you get bullied until you agree with everyone else. It's quite bad. Please don't treat your friends like the main six treat Posey here. Don't do that. I implore you.